Hi, Sunday the 10th of October 2020. Let's take a look at what's happening in astrology. A quick look at the week ahead as well. Now, October is a super busy month. We've got several planetary retrogrades going on at the moment, which are sort of coming to an end, basically. At one point in October, when Mercury went direct a little earlier this month, that actually made 6 planets retrograde. Well, at least 3 of them are going to be coming out of retrograde very soon, and then Mercury retrograde is ending just after that, so it's all getting a lot less complicated. Let's start off with that Mercury retrograde, because that's what everyone is looking at, and that's what everyone is thinking about. There's other stuff going on as well, but Mercury is a very close heavenly body to us, so the Mercury retrograde is probably the most effective one. I guess it depends on what's going on in your life and what's going on in your karma as much as anything. But on the 10th today, we are more or less in the middle of Mercury retrograde. There's just over a week to go. Mercury actually turns direct on Monday, the 18th of October, 2021. And from, let me see, Friday of next week, Friday the 15th, we get 3 days of very, very intense Mercury retrograde. It goes we call it intensified. It intensifies for the last few days as Mercury prepares to stand still. It's going backwards, it's going to stand still, and then it's going to start coming forward again. I'm not saying he or she, by the way, because Mercury is firmly an it. It has been called the planet of transgender people and is seen as being transgender in itself. But there we are, Mercury retrograde slowly coming to an end, and then after the 18th, we get 4 days up until the 22nd of a post-shadow phase intensified, when it's still kind of quite intensified. And the post-shadow phase is when it's all over bar the shouting. The post-shadow phase is really the whole thing settling down, and we start seeing the reasons why we were learning the lessons we were learning in the earlier part of Mercury retrograde. And so that's the intensified post-shadow phase until the 22nd of October, and it's actually not until the 3rd of November this year when Mercury is at full speed ahead again and everything is over, and that is the very last Mercury retrograde of 2021. So that's Mercury taken care of. Let me change over my sort of cheat sheet things that I've got going on here. The big news today really is Saturn goes direct. Jupiter is going to go direct on the 17th. That's actually a week from today, and I will be back with a video all about that as we go through next week. But Saturn has been in Aquarius since December of 2020. That's when she actually moved into Aquarius. And this retrograde began actually on May 23rd this year, so we have had quite a long time of retrograde. But this is what Saturn does every year. It's all part of the astrological transit that we normally can expect to happen. So that's May the 23rd, and that retrograde is going to end in 6 degrees Aquarius and 52 minutes on the 17th. No, it's not on today. What am I saying? That is today. I got into talking about Jupiter there. That's next week. This is Saturn. This is today. Saturn is actually in 6 degrees of Aquarius and 52 minutes and has gone direct. Now, it's the 3rd out of 4 planets to station direct in 2 weeks, so there is a great deal happening, really, because Pluto went direct on October 6th with the new moon, as the new moon came in, and then on the 17th and 18th, we've got Jupiter and Mercury stationing direct, as I said. And because of all that, everything returning to direct motion, this couple of weeks we're in at the moment is representing really quite a big shift. Anyway, let's take a look at the general kind of space weather that's going on and everything to do with that. Because we have had some interesting stuff going on with sunspots and the sun. But I'll just go over where we are now as we're going into next week, because it's the applying aspects, it's what's coming towards us as we go into next week that's really worth paying attention to at this time. So right now on Sunday the 10th, we've we've got a Sagittarius moon, and that stays there until October the 11th, only till tomorrow, but it's a Saggy moon at the moment. It's generous, it's optimistic. Of course, we've got a waxing moon now because that new moon came in just a few days ago. The moon is now 21.3% full, waxing, and we come up to the next full moon on the 20th of October, so we've got another 10 days or so to go before we actually get there. And the alignment as we go into next week, the moon herself, sextile Mercury, retrograde Mercury, so feelings and emotions should be fairly easy to express, should be a pretty good time for the divine feminine and for people coming together and meeting together, but you just never know when Mercury is retrograde, so have a care, as Laurel and Hardy or was it? No, it was James Finlayson used to say it in Laurel and Hardy films. Have a care, he used to say. Right, Sun is trine Jupiter though, so this is a great time to do big, generous kind of outgoing things. It's very positive in that sense. Great time for proposals, launching things. People's general sense of generosity actually goes up. Not a bad time for travel if you're actually able to travel. Loads of restrictions on that, of course, at the moment, but what can we do? It's favoured in astrology if it's not favoured in the rest of the world. So we'll take a look at Mercury retrograde. Careful negotiations. It ought to be a good time for that kind of thing. Negotiating carefully, as long as you can be patient, you know. Don't expect really rapid progress at the moment because it's just not that kind of time, basically. Mercury trine Saturn, Venus sextile Saturn, so interpersonal matters. Maybe some facing the facts going on at the moment. People settling things, you know, maybe long-standing disputes being settled, and that's going to need some formalisation as well. You know, it's much easier to settle a dispute if you kind of formally agree something, maybe even get something in writing. Good time for that, and good time for solutions to problems. Of course, Saturn going direct today is going to add to the general positivity of that. So, you know, very, very good day in terms of Venus being sextile Saturn there. Love and money, those things that go together with Venus, really joining up with that Saturn direct energy that's going on. Mars trine Jupiter, great time for outdoor activities, actually taking the initiative. A trine is a very positive kind of alignment, so we're not looking at any of the hostile concerns about Mars at this time. Actually, with Mars trine Jupiter, risky ventures, maybe people speculating, people taking risks, maybe people judging things a little bit too quickly, maybe a little bit of overconfidence there, but some confidence is a good thing. It's going to lead to positive growth, and we'll just see what the moon alignments are doing next week. We've got Sagittarius moon, like I say, right through until Monday, and let me see, 10:15 a.m. Pacific, 1:15 p.m. Eastern, and so 6:15 in the United Kingdom. We've got a Capricorn moon coming in. Then second quarter comes in on Tuesday the 12th, and that's going to happen at 20 degrees of Capricorn and 1 minute. So that's the moon, that is, when we get into the second quarter of the moon. And when we get into the second quarter, the energy is really building up towards full moon. When we just had a new moon like we did on the 6th, it's always best not to try and start anything new, not to get any new stuff happening, really, for a couple of days. It's a great time for making plans, and it's a great time for newness, but it's much better to kind of start launching your plans maybe the 8th, maybe the 9th. The last couple of days, maybe even today, is good for launching a new plan. But when we get into second quarter, the energy really starts taking off, and great things can really happen in second quarter. So that is coming in on Tuesday. Look out for that one. 20 degrees Capricorn, so you know, a lot of staying power behind anything you try to launch in second quarter. So then we've got an Aquarius moon coming in on Wednesday. That's going to be 1:47 a.m. Pacific, 4:47 a.m. Eastern, 9:47 a.m. in UK. And then a Pisces moon on Friday. Thursday is a pretty quiet day. Pisces moon on Friday the 15th, and that's 7:22 p.m. Pacific, 10:22 p.m. Eastern, 3:22 a.m. on Saturday here in UK. So, the important things to really hang on to is that it's second quarter coming up. That's when our dreams really start getting their boots on. That's when we can start manifesting positively. Mercury retrograde until the 18th. So, we're not out of the woods. That Jupiter and Mercury going direct are really essentially next weekend. But Saturn, which has been, as I say, in Aquarius all this time since last December, is now well and truly direct. Still in Aquarius, but the situation is going to change. Things are fluid again. This is the great thing. Retrogrades tend to get us stuck, feeling like we're halfway to nowhere. But we're on the road again. Life is getting its boots on again. And this looks to me a very positive week coming up. So friends, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Drop a thumbs up on this one if you've enjoyed it. Leave me a comment. We will share the journey. And I'll see you again soon in a future video. Take care of yourselves, friends. Have a great week ahead. See you soon. Bye.